Hi everyone. Noah and I are trading off this week, so he will be preaching and leading the service on Sunday, and I am leading the Midweek Devotional. And the lectionary psalm this week is Psalm 23, a very familiar psalm to many of us. And so I thought we would look at some different aspects of this psalm, and particularly how this psalm invites us to rest in different ways. And so as we do that and as we begin together, I invite you to join me in Come Thou Fount. So one of the ways in which we are invited to rest is from busyness. I came across this version of Psalm 23 that's called the Psalm 23 antithesis. I came across this a number of years ago, and it speaks, I think, to this truth that we kind of unconsciously embody and take into ourselves, that in order to have worth and value, we have to be productive. And we need to prove that we are necessary, whether that's to our jobs or to our families. And I think one of the things that this shutdown, this quarantine, is forcing us to do is to really wrestle with what does it mean to not be productive? What does it mean simply to be, to exist, and to rest? And so this antithesis might have rung a little more true for us 2 months ago than it does today, but I think it still speaks very poignantly to some of the lies that we believe and kind of the default way of being for many of us. So I'm going to read the Psalm 23 antithesis, and then I'll immediately follow that up with Psalm 23. The clock is my dictator. I shall not rest. It makes me lie down only when exhausted. It leads me to deep depression. It hounds my soul. It leads me in circles of frenzy for activity's sake. Even though I run frantically from task to task, I will never get it done. For my ideal is with me. Deadlines and my need for approval, they drive me. They demand performance from me beyond the limits of my schedule. They anoint my head with migraines. My in-basket overflows. Surely fatigue and time pressure shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the bonds of frustration forever. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So we'll sing one of my favorite musical versions of this song, My Shepherd Will Supply My Need. think about this idea of resting from busyness, rest is this passive thing, right? We're resting from something. And we think about relaxing on a beach somewhere, or taking a Sunday afternoon nap. But what the psalm also reminds us is that we are invited to rest in all things, no matter what we're doing, wherever we are, even as we labor, even as we toil, as we work, we can rest in the certainty that God is with us there and that his hand is upon all that we are doing. And so it's never just us. We're never alone. In all of our labors, God is using us. And that allows us to sit back and take joy in the work that we do. So this next song is called In the Fields of the Lord. I think Luke and I maybe did it for our Lent adult enrichment sing-along. It's by Audrey, Assad, and Wardell.
In the fields of the Lord, our work is rest. He is moving in our hands and feet to bless. In the fields of the Lord, in the fields of the Lord, in the fields of the Lord, our work is rest. In the vineyards of the Lord, our work is light. He is tending every leaf and every vine. In the vineyards of the Lord, in the vineyards of the Lord, in the vineyards of the Lord, our work is light. In the garden of the Lord, our work is sound. He is weaving every thorn into a crown. In the garden of the Lord, in the garden of the Lord, in the garden of the Lord, our work is sound. At the harvest of the Lord, the fields are wide. Oh, he will wipe away the tear from every eye. At the harvest of the Lord, at the harvest of the Lord, at the harvest of the Lord, the fields are wide.
And finally, I think this psalm invites us to rest from despair, to rest from our fears. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. And so even when it seems dark around us, even when it seems that everything is going wrong, when we have no answers, when we don't know the way out of things, we know that God is yet with us, that Jesus conquered the darkness. So this next song is probably a new one, also an Audrey Assad, but it's a version of an old poem by John Henry Newman, I believe, from 1833. It's called "Lead Kindly Light."
Lead kindly light amidst the gray and gloom. The night is long and I'm far from home. Here in the dark, I do not ask to see the path ahead. One step enough for me. Lead on, kindly light. I was not ever willing to be led. I could have stayed, but I ran instead. In spite of fear, I followed my pride. My eyes could see, but my heart it was blind. Lead on, kindly light. And in the night, when I was afraid, your feet beside my own on the way. Each stumbling step where other men have trod shortens the road leading home to my God. Lead on, my God, my God. Lead on, kindly light.
And so as we close, we'll end with this simple, short refrain by John Bell called "Don't Be Afraid."